Last night, I did the one thing I promised myself I would never do. I hit my 3-year-old daughter. And when I found what pushed me down that cliff, it completely broke me. It was the end of the day. I was exhausted to the point where it feels like, why hasn't this day ended already? My 3-year-old was running everywhere. It was way past her bedtime, and she needed to change her diaper, put on her PJs, but she wouldn't listen to anything. I took her down by force and laid her down to change her diaper. She resisted and kicked me. I couldn't control myself. I snapped and hit her on her bare butt with a slap. It left a mark. She started crying, didn't understand what happened to her. I tried to console her, but she started asking for her daddy, who was putting her little brother to bed. I felt awful. I hurt my child voluntarily. I told my husband about what I did. He held my hand. I don't even fully remember what he said because I wasn't really hearing anything. I was still in that moment, replaying the sound, the mark, her face. I went in to check in on her. She was already asleep. I was hit as a kid, and for most of the time, I don't know why. All I remember is the way it felt, the physical hurt, the confusion. The thing where someone you love completely is also someone who just hurt you on purpose. I carried that with me my whole life. It was the one thing I was certain about. I would never pass that feeling to my child. And then last night, I did. As a parent and her protector-in-chief, shouldn't I protect her from harm even when it is coming from me? I couldn't sleep. I sat on my bed with my phone and typed, "Psychology of child when they get hit by their parent." And at some point, I had to put my phone face down on the bed, because one line just described it exactly what I remembered feeling as a child, and I was reading it as a mother. Children who experience physical punishment repeatedly show higher rates of anxiety and, over time, lower self-esteem, more aggression with peers, because the nervous system learns something quietly beneath the surface, that when someone is overwhelmed, bodies become the answer. And then I read that physical punishment is rarely about discipline. It is almost always about a parent whose nervous system has already been overwhelmed long before the moment it happens. I am a mother of 2. My daughter is almost 3. My son is still a baby. Every single day looked something like this. Up before I'm ready. Baby needs feeding. Toddler needs managing. Laundry basket that is perpetually half done. My husband helps. Genuinely, he does. But the invisible to-do list that runs in the background of my mind every waking hour. What she needs. What he needs. What we're out of. What tomorrow looks like. What I forgot. The kind of depletion that sleep would fix, but the sleep never fully comes anyway. And by the end of that day, I had nothing left. I wasn't a functioning adult making a parenting decision. I was a person whose nervous system had been quietly on fire for so long that a toddler kicking me during a diaper change was enough to make it break. My body reacted before my brain could. In the morning, she came and found me, and before I could say a word, she climbed into my lap like nothing happened. Her innocence forgave me before I had forgiven myself. I held her for a long time. She had no idea I was holding on for my own sake. She appeared to have already moved on, and I kept thinking, did I damage something? Is something different now inside her that I just can't see yet? Mama hurt you, and that was wrong. Mama is so sorry. You are safe. I love you. And I just sat there for a moment on the floor after she walked away. And in that quiet, the most agonizing part wasn't even the guilt. It was the clarity. The sudden realization that all it would have taken to change the story was 3 seconds. 3-second pause between a trigger and a response is enough to literally shift your brain activity away from an impulse. Just saying out loud, I am overwhelmed. Even to a toddler who doesn't understand the words, pulls you back from the ledge. I could have taken those 3 seconds. I could have called my husband, who was just 20 feet away in the next room. But I didn't. I let my pride convince me that a mother should be able to handle a simple diaper change alone. I thought I was just pushing through, but that belief cost my daughter something she never deserved.